this old thing. I'll give that to you. Make yourself at home, my love, and have a seat. I think there's some very excited people out here.
Wow. I'm excited to see you. You're
well,
fabulous.
Welcome to Sheffield. Did you ever think that you'll be in Sheffield?
No, to tell you the truth.
I'm not sure I did, really.
The home of Joe Cocker. That's all I know, right?
Oh, yes,
Joe
it is.
Cocker,
Yes, it is. Yes.
They're all like, who the hell is Joe Cocker?
Yeah.
Back in the day. All right.
So to start with, obviously known to the UK as the iconic character Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, but there's obviously a lot more to your career as well. So just to give a little bit of background to people that probably don't know, I've got a feeling people probably know most of your career in this room, is giving a start in Vegas. Tell us about the Vegas days.
Yes, I started in Vegas as a showgirl at the Dunes Hotel so long ago that like none of you were born, probably. And I was actually the youngest showgirl in Las Vegas history. At least that's what it says in the Guinness Book of World Records. I was 17.
Wow.
My parents had to sign off on me. I couldn't go through the casino. I couldn't gamble, drink, or do any of the fun stuff. But I could dance around on stage in my skivvies, you know?
So it's okay to
Go
do that.
figure, it's not bizarre.
Because it's 21 over there, isn't it? 18.
Yes, and I was only 17, so there I was, dancing away on stage, you know, and not much more than a few feathers. And anyway, that's where I did get my start in show business. Before that, I had been a go-go girl since I was 14, so I started very, very young. I feel like I'm in my 100th year now of show business. I've been around so damn long. So, anyway, that's it. Yeah.
But I love that story, and
I love that story.
I love the story, and
I've
I love
heard it so many times.
I know, but I don't know as many people know about the night with Elvis.
Oh, well, the night with Elvis. Oh, yeah. I'm going to write all the details about that in
obviously save the good bits for
my
print.
autobiography so I can charge for it. But no, Elvis, I did meet him and I did spend an evening, and because it was Las Vegas, you kind of went out at 2 in the morning and ended up until 7, 8, 9, 10 in the morning. Spent that time with him. One-on-one. It was a long story. I just met Priscilla Presley last week, which I thought she was going to kick my ass, but she was very sweet, very, very nice to me. Oh my God, there's a bunch of Elviras out there.
You're looking amazing. I love them now. Fabulous.
And anyway, Elvis did really save my life, I think, because I had, as a kid, decided my goal in life was to be a showgirl in Las Vegas. And so I had achieved my goal at the age of 17, and I was ready to stay there. And Elvis said, "You've got to get the hell out of here. This is no place for a young girl. You shouldn't be here." He and I sang at the piano together, and he said, "You should get a voice coach and start practicing singing, and you know, do something else. Get out of town, do something." And I took that to heart, and really, you know, did go off in that direction. From that day on, I got singing lessons the next day, and so if it wasn't for Elvis, I would now be the oldest showgirl in Las Vegas. I would. That would be in the Guinness Book of World Records too. Nobody would want to see that.
But I love that story because people come into your life for special reasons, and that, of all people, just Elvis, just happened to be Elvis.
Just Elvis. That whole thing.
To give you completely life-changing advice. Yep. Flash forward 10 years, you're in LA at that point, and so the late 70s into 80, but when did you start with the Groundlings?
I started with the Groundlings in about, what year was it, 1970, I think 77 or 78.
So a few years before the...
Yeah, I was in there for about 4.5 years before I got this part. Yeah.
So it was there that the sort of the genesis of Elvira started with the Valley Girl character, but how were you asked to audition for the role, or did they approach you, or did you approach them?
I was on my honeymoon. Big mistake. Anyway, I was on my honeymoon, and when you're an actor in LA, it never fails that when you go out of town, that's when they call you. "We've got this audition for you. You would be perfect." And it was a friend of mine, just a girlfriend of mine, who called up and said, I know this guy, they're doing this horror host character at a local TV station. He's seen you at the Groundlings, and you would be perfect for this part. And I said, I'm not coming back from my honeymoon. I'm just not, you know, this is a one-time thing. And so a few weeks passed, I came back, and she called me up and said, he hasn't found anybody yet, you've got to get over there. I was like, okay, well, I'm in town. And I went over. Nobody told me that I was supposed to dress up like a horror host character. They just told me to go over there. And when I got in there, I was in a room full of women with black wigs and
at that point, the
vampire
look,
fangs and the whole, you know, 9 yards. I'm just sitting there like this, like a dork. And so they auditioned me anyway, and I think the fact that I was in the Groundlings is really what nailed it. And I also, they had a really awful script that I kind of just improvised, because that was my forte. So instead of using the script, I kind of improvised. And I came out and they said, you got the job. And it wasn't like life-changing, because it was like, oh great, I got an acting job, I need money. It was $300 a week, so.
Which was probably nice
You know,
enough
back then it was $3 million, or $3 million. No, it was going to pay part of my rent. I still had to have another job as a temporary secretary during the day. Oh yeah, it wasn't enough to pay my rent, you know, and my husband's rent, and of course never, you know. Anyway, so anyway, I got the part. I started doing it on TV. I really didn't think it was going to last. I mean, it was really weird. I started out standing under a street light, not on my sofa, but they had me standing under a street light. I mean, you know, it was like, okay. So I really thought this, I don't know if this thing's going to go over. And,
well, at that point, the tradition of horror hosts in America, and because I'm trying to do that here, one viewer at a time, but up to 7, is, but we don't have that tradition over here. We never had it. So
it's like Halloween.
Yeah, well, Halloween now is huge, but in the last 5 years, since I've been involved with all this, it's kind of grown and grown and grown and grown. I think the passion's always been here, but I suppose because the gothicness is always here, perhaps we didn't need to do it just on Halloween.
It probably came from England to begin with.
Yeah, exactly, but I don't think we needed to just do it at Halloween. With the costume, now tell me about the costume design, because originally you had a different idea for the Elvira look.
I did, and if any of you have seen, unfortunately, my book that just came out recently, which is a big photo book, kind of history of my character, it will be coming to the UK soon, so that you can buy it here without paying like $50 to have it shipped from the US.
And it is beautiful. So, it looks amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
I'm really proud of it. It came out great. I'm very happy. And it's kind of a photo, you know, story of mine from the very beginning of Elvira until now. But there are pictures in there of my best friend at the time, a guy named Robert Redding, drew pictures of, we thought, what the character should look like. He and I were both, they just said, come up with a look that is spooky, you know. So he has several pictures in there. My idea was to kind of go in a